Hello and welcome to the channel on Scorpio New Moon. So we're going to record just a little bit of this and then we're going to turn the recording off and everybody is going to have an opportunity to allow participants to unmute themselves, to say things and emote in whatever way that you want to. So the way this is going to go, I'm going to do like a 10-minute little something introduction into what we're doing. I got my moon cards. I want to pull a card for us and also give some prompts so that whoever wasn't on the call can have a video just get themselves into a situation to explore their inner underworld and Scorpio material. So let's get started with, first what I want to do is just kind of introduce this concept of, I would call it in Tantra Yoga, you would say non-dual awareness. Non-dual awareness basically is where we recognize light and dark. We recognize suffering and pain. What I like to think of as, it's like the blurring of ecstatic and traumatic. So I know everybody's like real triggery around shadow material and trauma and suffering and pain. And I am too. I totally understand. And the process that I would like to share tonight is where we're able to hold ourselves and each other in both. So having that non-dual awareness where, yes, things can suck and be terribly traumatic and there's grief and we have all of our feelings around that. And there's also this, like this image of if you've been in like Hurricane Katrina or something like that, where from watching it from the television, it seems just completely horrible. But when you're actually living an experience like that, there is this beauty that could never be captured on camera anyway, because it's what's happening inside the experience is that there's people helping each other in ways that you would never imagine if it weren't for that traumatic experience. There is immense beauty of that universal compassion and empathy that we are all capable of shows up times 5,000. And so this is where we see that non-dual awareness. It's like it blurs the boundary between bliss and suffering. It blurs that boundary. So, and it's not to invalidate the experience of suffering or pain or any of that. Actually, what happens is that we're able to still hold ourselves and love ourselves and recognize like the full emotion of what's happening. And really being, it's not a being okay with it. It's not to sugarcoat things and be like what I lovingly joke as love and lighting it away, or bringing it up to the light. It's none of that. What it is like getting into the places in your body where these energetic aliveness, how would I say, this energetic, it's like a life of its own that lives in our bodies, either as a thought, emotion, connection. So in a lot of trauma work, what you might call decoupling between a mental story and the sensation in the body. And you know, obviously when you see this, decouple in Tantra yoga, there is like really no decoupling. It is a full experience of the physical body, hearing the story, taking taking your awareness to where the story is and where the emotion is, where the energy is in our physical bodies. So we're not doing any of that tonight. What we are going to do is open the mic and we're going to say all the messy shit that we have to say, because what ends up happening a lot in our manifestation process and our creation process is that we're over here like, oh, I want to create, or this is like a literal one from my own thing. I want to generate $10,000 a month from my blah, blah, blah. I want to experience the greatest love and the, you know, like listing all these things out. But the thing in me, the energy, the raw, it's like this pulsating, what in Tantra yoga is called your khanda. The khanda is this root bulb where your life force is. It's pulsating, it's vibrating. And there's an actual thing in there that I haven't allowed myself to fully feel, whether it is a completely blissful experience that was too much pleasure at the moment that oh, no. Had to shove that back down. I had to repress that. Like, you may have also had this as a kid where they're like, oh, you're too much. Like, you need to tone that down a bit. But it was just this bubbling over of joy that's in there. And also all those traumatic experiences of, So we have this, what you know of prana, but there's actually 5 pranas. And in this 5 prana model, we are only able to assimilate a certain amount of the information coming in through food, media, sounds, music, environmental things. So in that equation of information in and information out, there's like, what were you able to digest? What was able to be assimilated? What was absorbed? What went up? What went down? And we are just not capable of processing all of that from the entirety of our life. This is where dreams come in a lot, because dreams will allow some of that information to bubble up into awareness. So what I want to do with you all here tonight on this the darkest night of the moon cycle, is allow a space for each of us who wants to share to do the very best that we can. And there is no expectation. There is no, you know, if you are more comfortable sugarcoating and giving, you know, whatever you're comfortable with, please do that. My hope, and I will go first so you can really, you know, have some kind of an example of the possibilities of where we can go. And everybody is going to have a different example of the possibilities of where we can go. Yours is going to look different than everybody else's. You can leave your camera off, you can turn your camera on, you can, you know, I'm planning to look straight into that camera so you feel seen. So you feel that you are completely being seen and loved, and I'm going to hold that attention for you, and just making the space where you can say the things that are uncomfortable to say, things that you don't even know that. So see, it's like this, we're going to hold ourselves physically. I'll do a little 5-minute, 3-minute guided meditation. We're going to hold our own physical bodies. We're going to ask for something that we have hidden from ourselves. See, it's not tell me your fears, tell me your secrets. That's not what I'm talking about. You can, because if that's at the level of your awareness that wants to come out, say that. And as you say that, maybe those things that you have hidden from yourself will also feel safe enough to come up to the level of awareness. So in our manifestation process, we have, I was mentioning that khanda, that root. There's energy there, there's information there. And the creations that we are manifesting are being, they're bubbling up from that energy. So tonight on this new moon, if we're able to speak from that root, from that khanda, from that bulb of energy, and allow some of that out, that this is going to purify our body. Not that your body is dirty, your body is perfectly fine just as it is, and there is a cleansing process that will happen to you, that will happen for you, no matter what you say or do on this call tonight. And also, let's allow some of that to bubble up so that moving forward into this Scorpio moon cycle, that our creations will be purely enlivened by that universal life force energy as it's running through our own physical bodies and our own root khanda bulb of energy. So let's start off by just going to take one of your hands, put that on your heart, feel the drum beat. Mine's going fast because I am a little bit nervous. Just notice that. If you're going to take your other hand, place it down on that pubic bone, just right above your pubic bone. You're going to take a deep breath in, imagining a cool drink of lunar inhalation coming down through the central channel, filling up your pelvis. On the exhale, swooping up, bringing that fire of Kundalini Shakti up, merging the two in the pineal gland. And then again, deep breath in, cool lunar inhalation, feeling the diaphragm pushing down toward the pelvis. The exhale swoops up, brings that fire of Kundalini all the way back up into this space of the Balavat chakra. Good. One more deep breath in. On your exhale, bringing that passionate, inflamed, raging fire up to meet Shiva. Now we have that merging, that union right here. Let's take a few breaths on your own time and your own rhythm. Dear sweet, sweet, innocent body, I love you. All of your experiences are valid. All of your expressions are valid. I love you. There is nothing that you could do that could ever make me not love you. You are perfect. Your form, your functions, everything about you. I am invoking my body as earth, the spirit of my body as earth. And I'm invoking what's below the surface. What have I hidden? What am I not seeing or feeling or hearing What have I hidden below the surface of my senses? What have I hidden? You are safe. You are loved. I welcome you back into the wholeness of awareness. Just take a moment sitting with yourself. You can grab your journal. If you feel called to write down any images or sensations or feelings or words that are coming up, just take a minute, maybe 2 minutes or so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Oh, actually, let me just tell you the cards that I pulled. The bottom card is New Moon in Gemini, and it says communication is key. So what I'm getting from this card is just pretty much what I talked about with expressing, communicating, sharing in circle with people who you know will not give a judgment, because we all know that we have stuff. And, you know, so that communication, allowing each other to share, and it's extremely challenging for a lot of people to share. So I'm already just giving you so much of this celebration energy for showing up. And so for the past, the card that I got for the past says that it says void, of course, that nothing will come from this. So it basically is saying that that the void in your body, which swallows things that were not able to be expressed, digested, and assimilated. So that we got for the past. For the present moment, the card that I got for the present moment is to hold your vision. And basically, as we're expressing and communicating what's coming from the void, that we're able to hold and attune our attunement with our source self. So as we go into the void in our physical body, that we have this attunement with our, what you might call or here call higher self. It really is just the attunement with your source self, that we hold the vision on that while allowing ourselves to have this deep dive into our physical bodies. And then the last card I pulled was, what's the potential for this? The practice that we're going to do, what is the potential of where we could go? And the card that I got was Cardinal Moon. Cardinal, as you know, is the cardinal direction. So this is going to be one of those householder, strong stability, initiation moons. And the phrase is be bold and make the first move. So as we move through this night and the communication of what's within ourselves in the void, holding attunements with our source self, and then being able to allow ourselves to be bold in, this is going to be more of like when we move into that intention setting phase of this moon cycle, that we're bold and make the first move.